Thomas, good to see you. I'd like to know what happens if you die without a will. Despite potentially devastating consequences, 54% of Americans don't have a will, leaving estate planning up to a complicated range of state laws. So, who needs a will? A lot of us assume they're just for the very wealthy, but 1 in 5 Americans with a million or more still doesn't even have a will.
Yeah, so I'm an advocate of estate planning. Okay, I think that everybody needs a will. If you own any type of property, if you have any type of accounts, 401ks, IRAs, bank accounts, checking accounts, lock boxes, at the banks, you definitely want to put those things down in an agreement or a will, if you will, in regards to where those proceeds or those assets will potentially go to any event of a death. You are going to die. There's no way that we're getting out of this thing alive. So it's important for you to sit down and think about how you want those assets to flow.
Mhm. If you die without a will, your loved ones may get nothing, especially if they are unmarried partners or stepchildren who are left out under the law in almost every scenario.
Absolutely. I think that's why it's very critical to lay those things out. If you do have a spouse or a loved one that you want those funds to go to, most of those laws are not designed for them to pass to those individuals. So I think it's important for you to sit down with an attorney, if you will, and determine how you want those assets to flow. And you can do that by creating a will for yourself.
Mhm. Now, I do know that you wanted to break down a few tips. And first tip is to know your state's laws.
Yeah, right. I mean, that can be cumbersome, right? I mean, but I think you should have a basic understanding of any event that you die, and there's no will, what happens. So know how your state is set up in regards to those laws. But I think that the biggest thing that you should probably do is get with an individual who specializes in estate planning. If it's an attorney or estate planning consultant or an advisor who specializes in that, I think those are the number one thing that you should probably do when you're considering executing a will.
Mhm. And next, make sure that all your assets are covered.
Right. I would, I actually have a book on my website. It's
Mhm.
Understanding Your Finances. And one of the sections in the book is estate planning. There's actually a section in there that kind of gets you thinking about everything that you own. I think that you need to make sure that everything is covered. I don't care if it's vehicles or if it's some furniture, or some heirlooms in your family, anything that you have that has value. That could potentially create an issue for your family if it's not passed correctly. I think you should consider that and put that in the actual will as well.
Mhm. And last, don't delay. A lot of us do hesitate though, because this can bring up some complex family dynamics,
Yes. The last thing you want to have is two siblings not talking to each other because it's the way that something
right?
passed to one or the other when somebody passed away. Most people don't think that they don't think that this is going to happen in anytime soon. They project they're going to live for another 20, 30 years. Death comes all of a sudden. So I think it's important if you're thinking about it now, if it's in your mind and you're watching this video, this might be a sign for you to go sit down with somebody and get this thing executed.
Right. It all comes down to that proactive planning, Thomas. Well said. If somebody wants to talk through writing up a will or anything regarding estate planning, or if they want a free copy of your book, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, definitely go to my website, Martin Heritage Group, LLC.com. You can obviously shoot me an email as well at info at Martin Heritage Group, LLC.com. You can also give me a phone call, 651 and I'm on all social media platforms at Martin Heritage Group.
All right. Thomas, thank you.
Thank you.